Now available on Kindle. E-Steam No Good Deed. The Devilish Diva scares some stick-up kids straight in this action-packed E-Steam series comic. Get E-Steam No Good Deed on Kindle for 99 cents today.
One of my viewers sent me a link to an article about a Call of Duty esports player in Brazil who allegedly murdered his rival and sent friends video of her body. Now, in this incident, 18-year-old Alves da Costa admitted to allegedly murdering Ingrid Oliveira Bueno da Silva in his Sao Paulo home. Now, your Ingrid Oliveira Bueno da Silva was there as part of a competitive tournament for the Call of Duty game, and what happened was the Alves Costa decided to murder your Ingrid there and then show graphic video of her dead body to his friends on WhatsApp. Now, some people in Brazil would see this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of this murder, it fits the pattern and profile I talk about as related to Western men in my book, The Man Crisis. And looking at this whole incident, it fits the pattern and profile I talk about regarding beta males here in America in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me from reading the article that this Alves Costa was one of these beta male ticking time bombs, and he was simmering and boiling in anger for years, and that was shown in the article when it talked about how he was writing a 52-page manifesto explaining why he committed the murder. Now, this Alves says that he wound up committing this murder because he had a lack of direction in his life, an inability to connect with others, and being tired of life. Now, the first two things he says fits right in line with the pattern and profile regarding beta males here in America and the West. Now, your beta males, they don't have much direction in their life, and they don't know how to connect with others, and that's what makes these men ticking time bombs, because many of these men simmer and boil in anger for years, and eventually they wind up exploding in a rage. And this is clear to me because when I look at the way this man murdered this woman, it's clear to me that he was simmering and boiling in anger, and he wanted to take that anger out on this female rival, and he probably chose this female rival because he felt like this female was going to do better than him. Because when it comes down to a lot of beta males, they express a lot of unconscious anger towards women because they believe those women have more power than they do, and they believe that they have more success than they do. And because they believe that these women have more power and success than they do and can get more attention than they do, what they want to do is make a grand display that can show that they can go out here and make a bigger splash than they do. So when I look at this man's plans to maliciously murder this young woman, it's probably because this woman probably was a lot more popular than he was in the gaming scene, and he probably lured her there to participate in this so-called tournament in an effort to murder her. And then as he murdered her, he was going to put the video of her dead body on WhatsApp in order to gain some infamy, because he probably felt he could not gain any fame due to the lack of so-called direction in his life. So he wanted to go out in infamy by murdering this girl, and he wanted to get a big splash of attention for himself that he couldn't get in the gaming world. So he wanted to get his fame and attention by taking the life of somebody who he thought was a better gamer than he was, and he wanted to win at the game of life by going out in infamy. He didn't really care about any sort of success anymore. He wanted to go out here and make one big grand failure where he could be seen as a superstar. And that's one of the things that these beta males like to do. When they can't get fame for themselves, they try to make themselves go out in infamy. And in this case, he was looking to do this by taking this young woman's life. And this young woman didn't understand that she was dealing with a ticking time bomb. She thought she was playing the game Call of Duty with this guy, and it would just be some sort of fun. But there is never any fun when dealing with a beta male, because the thing with beta males is you never know when they're going to go off or what they're going to do when they go off. And these men are ticking time bombs, and it's not a matter of if they go out here and explode in a rage. It's a matter of when they explode in that rage, and it's a matter of what will be the fallout from that violence. And that's the whole scary thing about dealing with beta males, is you don't know if or when you don't know when they're going to go off, or what the damage will be when they go off. And that's what, again, is the scariest thing about dealing with a beta male, is you don't know where he is or what he's going to do. And this incident is really, really troubling, because it shows us that the man crisis goes beyond the United States and the West, and it's almost international, because it seems like in every country we've got 2 to 3 generations of these beta males out here. And the scary part is, it's like the whole world is littered with these beta male landmines, and it's a matter of when they go off. And it's the scary part is you just don't know what type of damage these individuals are going to do when they go off. That is the scary thing about all of these beta males, because this girl just went to this guy's house to participate in a video game competition, and she thought the only people who were going to die were the sprites in the Call of Duty game. She had no idea that this man would murder her, and she had no idea that this man would, after taking her life, make it broadcasted to be some sort of entertainment, and then try to excuse his reprehensible behavior by talking about the lack of direction of his life and his inability to connect with others, and then being tired of life. But the whole thing was, he was tired of being at the bottom of the world, because that was the state of his mind, and he felt that he couldn't get any attention. So he wanted to, again, he couldn't get fame as a gamer, so he wanted infamy by taking this girl's life. And that is how your beta males operate. They don't know how to go out here and navigate a course in the world. And because they don't know how to navigate a course in the world, what they do is they wind up, again, simmering and boiling in anger. And this guy probably simmered and boiled in anger at this girl for years, and then eventually just decided that this was the time to murder this girl, and get his fame through infamy. And that's what beta males do in these situations, because beta males, they are all about getting attention, because they want to get attention through this infamy, and they also passive aggressively express their contempt at females that they have issues with, because a lot of these guys, they have mommy issues because they're used to submitting to female authority figures, and a lot of them have contempt for the women in their lives, so they go out here and look to do harm to other women. And this is another trait of the beta male that makes him extremely dangerous. But when I look at this whole situation, it shows me how the man crisis goes far beyond the United States and the West, and is part of countries like Brazil, and it shows me how this man crisis is global. But I've said before, this man crisis is getting worse instead of better. And when I look at this incident in Brazil, it shows me how much worse this man crisis is, and how this man crisis is global, and how we really need to acknowledge this man crisis before we wind up having it go nuclear and these men start escalating their behaviors and participating in even more extreme behaviors in the spectrum of violent behaviors. Now, if you want to learn about why guys like this individual participate in their extreme violence, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com. And in that book, it details why these males participate in the behaviors they participate in, and why these behaviors are self-destructive, and the ultimate solution for solving America's man crisis. And you can find that book on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find it on Smashwords, the iBook Store, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers this April, Isis: Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door must take on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis: Revenge of the Cyber Goddess in paperback and e-readers this April.